Coffee today with Carla Williams. How's it going?
It's going really well. How are you doing?
Carla has a little store in the lower Ninth Ward. Material Life is the name of the store. And I'm just, you know, like that you have this like high, it's like, it's so like cool, like art. So it's like, but it's all like super colorful and it's like, I don't know, like, I'm like about it. It feels very Caribbean to me. You know, it's like your style.
It's completely my style, and it's really that, I think you kind of nailed it, exactly what I was going for, kind of a Caribbean, Afro-pop vibe. New Orleans is so much a part of that, and I really wanted that look and feel in New Orleans.
In the store. And so it's a majority black artist, but you don't just, not just art, it's all kind of...
No, there's a lot of decorative art, so there's a lot of design work, everything from pillows to blankets to towels, plates, dishes, everything that black artists make and design is what I feature in the store.
And it's so, okay, and so I'm trying to like hit all these points because there's so many things in my head like I want to ask you about. The name, Material Life. Now that's kind of a fun little like, are you being serious with that name?
Is it Madonna?
Yeah, right, because it's very, you know, I think there's definitely a push with the latest like, I guess, you know, to be less material.
Yes.
And so you like call it Material Life. How come?
To embrace the material. I think, and I call it Material Life because I want people to think about the ordinary things that they use in their life as having value. Everything from like their morning coffee cup to an old photograph or a scrap of newspaper that has meaning to them. Those are the things of our material life. And those are the things that matter to us on a daily basis. And so you can be a minimalist, but still value the material things that you interact with every day.
So what you're saying is, so this is very interesting. So what you're saying is, as opposed to being minimalistic, not you know, because when you see Material Life, you're like, whoa, that's kind of that's like straight up like. Yeah. But you're saying that to really take value in the things that we have, instead of saying you're going to like a big box throwaway store, get it, use it, throw it away.
More than you can,
more than I can deal with. Right.
Absolutely. It's about valuing the things that are already in our lives, or the things that we sort of take for granted but interact with all the time. And it's definitely, although I am a maximalist, completely, it's definitely not about a maximal style. It's just about paying attention to those things and caring where they come from, caring who makes them, why they've made them, why they're important to you, why one design, you know, especially a coffee cup is a perfect example, and coffee culture really influenced the name of the store. Why is one pot or one cup the one you reach for every day, as opposed to the other one that sits next to it on the shelf for years?
You're right about that.
You just, you gravitate toward that thing that is most comfortable, that is most appealing, most dear, and you may not even be able to articulate why.
And so, so okay, that's really good. Because, you know, when I come in your store, like, again, like, I like rich, maybe it is like my Creole background, but I do like deep colors and saturations.
Absolutely.
And, you know, and so like, you know, I've got like this great vase from your store.
Yeah.
That's just like, it's so cool because like we have like the brown walls and stuff, and it's like this bright blue vase with this cool shape. And it is a centerpiece of like the mantle.
And it's like you described it. It's the shape, it's the color, it's this beautiful thing that you enjoy living with.
But it's hard for me to describe exactly why.
You don't need to. You've got the thing there, holding it up, right? Doing the job for you.
It is the material thing.
It's the material thing that's important. And we all live with something, unless you are an extreme minimalist who gathers nothing around you. And you know, and I respect that way of life as well. There are still things that you interact with. There are still things that matter. And that matters to us. Having too much, no. But having what you need and valuing what you have, that's
having what you need and valuing what you have. It's like making.
I think I have a new tagline.
It's very good.
I wrote that down. Yeah.
Okay, so another one of the things I wanted to touch on is that this store is in the lower Ninth Ward.
Yes.
St. Claude and Tupelo.
Yes.
So you're way down in the lower ninth ward. I mean, I'm not saying that like it's that. I mean, the lower ninth ward's
No,
like
'cause it's
13
like
blocks.
yeah,
Yeah, it's not
exactly.
like that. It's not like, oh, well, I'm not going there because it's.
Right.
You pop across the bridge and you're there.
10 minutes from the French Quarter.
10 minutes from the French Quarter. Super cool old firehouse.
Yes, it is.
It's in
And
an old firehouse. It's so cool.
It's a great building. And the importance of that location for me was that I really wanted to be in a neighborhood because I really wanted the merchandise in the store to reflect its surroundings. And the people who come in, when they stop and they look at one of the Cahinja Wiley portrait plates and go, that looks just like so-and-so, then I know that it's exactly where it needs to be. Because that's important to me. I wanted the shop to reflect not only black culture, but also the neighborhood in which it would be situated.
That's it's in, you know, like the store is actually, it's on the corner of St. Claude and Tupelo.
Yeah.
And for me, I think that building's kind of cool. I always get a kick out of, and this is maybe a material thing for me, I always get a kick out of buildings that are so center focused in where they are. So for example, when you're coming down Tupelo, you would run into the building.
Yeah.
So Tupelo intersects with St. Claude. When you're looking down Tupelo, you see the building.
Yes.
And even like this building here, St. Rock, when you're looking down St. Rock Avenue, you see the building. It anchors that spot, you know? And I think that even kind of goes along with your whole like material thing.
It does.
That building really kind of like
It does.
reflects like, you know,
And
lower Ninth Ward St. Claude.
It absolutely does, and I can't even tell you how many people have come in, stopped in to say, oh, I used to come here when I was a kid. My uncle used to be a fireman here. There was a man just 2 days ago who came up as I was pulling out, and he knocked on my car window and said, I was the first black fireman in this station. So it's amazing what that location has meant to that neighborhood and how central it has been within the memory of so many people.
And it's so interesting that it's so alive again.
Yeah.
Because you got some offices kind of in there.
I do, yeah.
You got the store, so like there's people coming and going, and it really brings that corner alive.
It does, thank you. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. And you know, that corner also has a really great corner store right across the street. There's a church, there's other activity around, and I think a lot of people move through the lower Ninth Ward because St. Claude is such a corridor and Claiborne is such a corridor, but there's lots of movement on the street in the lower Ninth Ward that I think people just take for granted. They don't think it's happening there because they're not slowing down enough.
But it totally is happening.
It's totally happening.
And I think you're reaching in. It's very interesting, that expansion of kind of the arts district from Araby, kind of like, and you're kind of you are a part of that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, the arts district in Araby is booming, and the St. Claude Arts District on this side of the canal is booming. And so you can't just skip over a whole neighborhood and hop from one to the next. There had to be some continuity. And I was also really conscious of that when we bought the building, that it would be a part of something that was already existed, that was already in the works, so that it just flows as part of the city, as part of the culture of the entire city.
Right, and it's so cool. So if you need like the cool, like colorful, like just statement piece in your house, Material Life on St. Claude.
Yes,
definitely the place to go check out, even if you just like down there browsing, or you want to just see some cool stuff that you've never seen before. Every time I go in there, I see something different, you know, like it's...
Yeah, right now, because it's October, I have a collection of photographs, pitch cards, materials related to sideshow performers. And I'm in love with it. In fact, although all of it is for sale, I don't want any of it to leave. Because that's the downside of being a maximalist and a store owner. You want everything.
You want everything. Yeah, but I think, at least, and this is what you told me, like, having it go to that right person is important.
Is as satisfying, I've discovered, surprisingly. It's good to see it go out to a good home.
Because if it goes back along with your whole like Material Life sort of mission. It's like, okay, like you love that vase, but now I have it. It's on my mantle. It's a part of the things that we gravitate towards, and then therefore it kind of goes.
Yeah.
Sorry, before we run, and if you want to come, grab, generally you have some flyers here at St. Rock.
Cards at
so
St. Rock.
You'll have the address and all of that kind of stuff. You got some flyers here for Material Life. But before we run, and always like, when you pop in for a coffee, and then what's your normal go-to Coast Roast drink?
Well, I'm going to admit my normal is the frozen coffee because it is sublime. It's absolutely delicious. But in the morning, I drink hot.
And it's
stick with hot.
You stick with
and
hot.
So I've got a cappuccino.
And then you've got like a little pour over bar in your store that you do some stuff with too.
I do.
So that's neat because some people are like, and I'll go off on a little bit of a tangent on that.
Right.
But like 'cause sometimes like people are like very like, oh, I'm not really I'm a coffee drinker, it's not frozen coffee, but then like don't want to drink black coffee. But you kind of like you can accept
There's
the
no
cool
life
part
without
about
coffee.
it. But I'm saying that like you're not benchmarked into one thing.
No. In fact, you even introduced me to chicory coffee that is delicious. I mean, I'd had it, but I wasn't a fan until I had yours.
Oh well,
I admit that freely.
I'm glad you enjoy that because we
delicious.
really try to do the whole gauntlet of things here because there are some people that really love frozen coffees and I want to like welcome them here to have coffee with people who may want a fancy high end pour over.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
the fact that you kind of like do the whole thing is neat. You're one of the few that kind of like
Is that right?
that
Oh,
kind
my
of gets me.
goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, coffee is everything really. I mean, it's my favorite beverage, and everything that surrounds coffee, everything of it. Mm-hmm. I'm with it.
Carla, thank you for stopping by
Thank
for
you.
coffee. I appreciate it. And I'll be in the store soon, absolutely for sure, on my way home or whatever. I'll pop in. And yeah, y'all need to come check her stuff out too. It's a cool place. I don't want to say it's a museum, but it is neat. It's neat to see.
You can look, even if you're just browsing. It's worth your time.
It's worth to come browse and check some stuff out. Because when you leave, you say, "Man, I've got the perfect spot for that." Like you said, it's something some stuff that you gravitate towards.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, we all do it.
We all do it. We all
Admit
like
it.
stuff.
You do it.
I do it. I do
We
it.
do
I got
it.
so much stuff.
Me too.
Carla, thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you. It was such a
See you
pleasure.
soon.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh.